Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, I want to show you a defensive scheme that I've been using online recently. It is basically the dime 2-3 formation. You can find this in the 34, Chargers, Giants, Lions, Packers, Patriots, Rams, Ravens, Steelers, Panthers, Seahawks, and Dolphins. This is actually a part of an ebook or strategy or defensive strategy I'm putting together with the Patriots, and it's going to be leveraging the double safety blitz to bring down my safeties, and then jumping into to multiple different plays to confuse and mess up my opponent. You're going to see some of these my opponents making bad reads with this. These guys weren't stellar opponents. They were average players. They weren't like anybody. They weren't like, you know, top 1,000, top 10,000 type players. So these are, you know, this is just something defense that you can blend into your scheme. I'll also be jumping into the nickel double A gap that I've showed to you guys previously, but I just want to show you this to you. So basically what I do is I set up my audibles. I'm going to be putting the press quarters as one of my base audibles, and then I'll be jumping into a cover 2 sync, and then I'll be using the overload 3 defense, and then using the double safety blitz coming out. So I like to do this because I like to put people in the box. It kind of gives a very imposing front, and then typically what I like to do is I like to jump into basically a cover 2 sync, and one of the things I have to do is take my defender in the middle and put them in a blitz or into a deep zone, something other than that mid read, so I've got match principles. Now, the opponent I'm running against in this first gameplay basically was using a lot of running formations, so I wouldn't say this is a very good defense to use against someone that does a lot of like running formations. This is a good defense to use against people that run like, you know, 3 wide receiver type sets and stuff like that. So as an outside run, I get a nice little shed right here to go ahead and contain the run. 3rd and 6. Now I go and jump into a different defense. I think he comes out of a trip set, and then I just try to go and light him up with a blitz in this type of situation. I don't think I was able to click on correctly. He gets past my one defender and actually goes ahead and picks up a couple yards. Once again, he's induced close. I'm going to hit him with a blitz. This is something like this defensive set. This is a defense that you want to jump into only in passing situations, but you can see I get a blitz right there, sack, and get a turnover and down. So once again, basically, I'm up 10-0 against this guy. Jump into this, and right there, I just suctioned myself right into the defender with the cover 2, but I like the cover 2 and first down type of situations just because it throws people off. Now with the cover 4 is actually better. Your safeties are going to come down and play run fits, and as you can see right here, the defense basically ran this guy's vertical or horizontal. He had nowhere to go with it, and I get him in a 3rd and 13 situation. He's got two tight ends. Then he goes ahead and makes an adjustment. He's got basically his guys off to the left. Usually what you want to do is, since you've got the strong side of the formations, you want to shift your defenders. I get a great interception animation right there with Jalen Ramsey, and I think that's pretty much it for this guy. I think he checked out after this. So here's another gameplay. I'm going against the Raiders. Once again, I like to go and set up my players to essentially be cover 4 is one of my base defenses, and then I'll jump into overload 3 as my other defense. And I've been finding if I run into, like, you know, these 21 sets where I've got 2 running backs and 1 tight end and 2 wide receivers, basically what I want to do is I want to go ahead and jump into cover 4 as a defense, because most players are going to be running in these type of formations. So you can see he goes to the outside, picks 3 yards, and this guy was a no-huddler. So that's good thing about having a defensive scheme, is that if you run into a no-huddler, you're going to basically have a defensive scheme to stop it. You want to be prepared for that. If you run into a situation where your defense is not fully set up in this type of situation, just take your guy and run him go off sides, because it's better than giving up a cheap touchdown because you're not prepared for his no huddle defense. So, you know, if I'm running a situation where a guy's no huddling, I'm going to take my dude and just go off sides. I'll give up 5 yards. I'll give up a first down, but I don't want to be in a situation where he can go ahead and just, you know, you take shots at me down the offense and run the ball and all that kind of stuff. So That's probably one of the more important things. So right here, he jumps into another defense. You can see what I did in this type of situation. This is a wide side of the field right here. So what I did is I took my defenders and I slid them over here, saying, okay, if you want to run, you can run on this side, where he's got less field than he does on the wide side over here. So and I'll go ahead and try to hide behind this defensive tackle right here, and then come over to the left. So let's go ahead and see what he does. I think this guy was running. He ran like on first and second downs and did that. I overextended myself. I figured he was going to go to the outside, so he actually hit the hole correctly. And right there, my safety actually stopped that from being a big play. That's the only problem with running cover 2, is that your safeties don't play run fits. They fall back. So that's why I think in this particular play, this 2nd and 1 situation, it jumped into basically cover 4. And you can see he makes an adjustment. He jumps into a different play. I close up my line and actually slant these guys to the outside. And my job is to try to hide right here. And I want to get over to this side and force him to my defenders. And this guy's playing a run fit. He's playing a run fit. He's playing a run fit. This guy is not. He's pushing up. He's pushing up. So if he goes wide, I can I would get in some trouble. But he's running a lot on the inside. So you could see I get actually taken out by the tackle. This guy gets double teamed. This guy comes down. But I think that this guy's actually past this defender and comes in and plays that run fit right there. And I'm able to get a block shed right there and get him a 3rd and 1 situation. So that probably should have been a bigger play than he did. Huddles, he's excited about it. And now I think I jump into a different defense. But fortunately for me, he's out of time as he's making these adjustments. And we go into the 2-minute warning. But no, actually, no, there's no 2-minute warning. It was, what it is, a jump into a man blitz here. He goes ahead and makes an adjustment on that. I go ahead and adjust out myself. And I've got basically over the top coverage, and he just quickly fires the ball. When this guy started passing the ball, he really exposed his weakness, that he was not a good thrower, because he would throw the ball up and he would get these crazy animations. I'd get a lot of interceptions against him, so he was not a good passer. He didn't have very good reads, and he struggled against this defense once he started throwing. So that's why usually you run into these players that like to do a lot of passing, and that's the only thing they can kind of get away with. So I form. Basically, I want to try to go ahead and have run fits off to the sides. If this guy runs up in the middle, I'm in some serious trouble because I've got these guys falling back into deep zones. They're not going to play a run fit immediately. So that's the only weakness running the cover 2 shell, is that it protects against the outside run, but it does not protect against inside runs. So in this type of situation, I probably should have closed up those tackles. He goes, I think, with a mesh concept. No, actually takes a shot up top. Right here, and this is where I started making an adjustment. So that was a really good read. My safety was out of position. I don't think I really had a very fast safety, and then my defensive back wasn't playing that correctly. And because his guys were shaded on the inside, that basically kind of exposed it. So right here, I think I jumped into cover 4. I did a show blitz alignment accidentally. It wasn't on purpose. He goes to the outside. I over pursue, and he actually goes ahead and picks up 9 yards. So 2nd and 1 situation. I go back into cover 4, and then I show blitz. I don't know why I was doing that. I was just, because he got me off tempo, and I gave up a big play. I was pretty upset about that. So, right here he goes, stretches the ball out, gets a 3rd and 2, no huddles once again. I'm going to stay in cover 4, and actually no, this is where I went into. Yeah, this is cover. No, this is the blitz. This is the overload blitz defense. I think actually no, this is basically invert cover 6. I didn't put the correct defense in, so that was just me not paying attention to my defense. It was a cover 6, and that's why it looked kind of funky. So 1st and goal situation, I've got guys down in the box. I should jump out of this because he just was really obsessed about throwing that, and actually makes one good read right there. I had press guys, and this guy came down and played the box, and he was able to go ahead and hit the wide receiver on the slant route. So I think what I did is I cleaned things up a little bit here in this type of situation, but once again, okay, so when I see trips set like this, basically there's a lot of, you have the verticals concepts that go like this, where you got to drag underneath it, and then you've got a guy that kind of comes out into the flap. You can have basically, you can have a dagger concept. which guys come over and stuff like that. So what I like to do is I've got matching principles with these. I think I might have ran into some type of palms formation, but what I do is I take this defender and I put him in a flat, because I wanted to go ahead and try to, if this guy actually, this tight end actually comes over the side, I don't want to have to be concerned about him in a flat, and I don't want to worry about any flats. So I'll send only 3 guys. I'll use him. I'm going to put this guy into a flat position to take away any underneath stuff, and I've got these guys matching over the top, so if he does any kind of vertical concepts. And my responsibility really is to shoot a run gap and just kind of defend, and then basically go ahead and take away any kind of like a quick seam shot over the top. So usually what I like to do is I like to hide behind this tackle, and I'm going to go into this passing lane right here, and then come back and play underneath. Because everything else is going to get matched up on this this defense. So I think huddles. You see how I slid these guys over. Got the guy in the hard flap, and I've got matching principles. He does a draw play, just something you don't see a lot. This guy was in run first. But I know the reason why is because when this guy started passing, he was in some serious trouble. So yeah, because of being a trip set, I jump into palms because I want to have matching principles. Because what happens with quarters, it doesn't match correctly with the number 2 wide receiver. Let's go ahead and see if we can see this. This guy with quarters doesn't get matched, and he'll go straight up with no one covering him. So if you jump on the palms, you'll get matching across the board with palms, and it's a cleaner match coverage that you can use. And I like running cover 4 because I think a lot of players have a hard time with it. So right here, go ahead and set this up once again. I've got my flat defender, and he actually tries passing. And as you can see right here, actually throws. Howard's right there in position to get the ball. I try to go and get the ball, but my guys just didn't get out to the ball good enough. So his quarterback overthrew the ball, but you could see that was locked up. That play was completely locked up using palms, cover 4 palms in these trip sets. So you got a lot of guys that run these trip sets, these type of formations. I'm going to go ahead and jump into that. So back at it again. I think I wanted to do a blitz against them. I'm noticing in these single back sets, I can get away with a blitz. So I went ahead and tried some pressure. I got a nice little block shed with a center, and I'm able to go and get a sack right there. So it is 3rd and 13 situation. He goes in a strong formation. So I'm just going to go hit him with a blitz once again, and he just gets one of the goofiest animations ever. I don't feel bad about this call. I don't feel like this is bad defense. This is just Madden luck. Basically, he throws it right here. I get a deflection, and the ball's in the air. He catches it with his guy, jumps for joy. He can't believe he got this, and he's in this game. This could have been a 4th and 13 type situation, and right now he made it into a game just with a fluky play like that. So he had one good drive. He gets a fluky play, and then we're in the second half, and he's only down by a score in this game where I feel like I was pretty much dominating him the entire time. So at the single back, I'm in a situation where I don't want to give up a big play. So let's see if I get the animation or the play art. Set this play up again. He's got some matching principles. I pull myself out of position. I'm actually trying to get over to this guy, and this guy my other defender slides out, giving him a little spot route where he can get a 9-yard completion right in the middle of the field. So back at it again. Huddles. That's his thing. And I think right here I go with hard flats. He gets a nice little block. That's the problem with the dime defense. If you run into a run first person, you will get picked up on blocks, and sometimes they'll be able to go ahead and get some pretty good cheesy yards out of it. But I think from a standpoint, it's a good base defense to have, because sometimes it'll throw people off. So let's just see if I made the adjustment here where I go into hard flats. Not sure. I think I'm just waiting in this type of situation to see what he does. So let's see if I see the play art. I always like to look at my play art in this type of situation. So here we go. Going to hard flats. I just anticipating him going to do some of the adjustment. And what I did is I actually blitzed all. So I'm going to take this guy and put him in a hook zone, and take this guy and put him in a hook zone. And typically what I want to do is blitz guys, so I've got 3 guys down. Now if he runs the ball in this adjustment, I'm going to get pancaked across the board. But he doesn't. And right here he throws into a flat defender, and I don't get an interception, but that's all right. I stop him for a 2-yard gainer. So that's basically just as good as getting a pass deflection or something like that, because if you get people getting only 2 yards on a pass play, psychologically I feel like it was a bad play. So back at it again, I jump into cover 2 just because I'm anticipating he might try to throw to the outside again because he was able to do that. He does a motion route, so usually you're going to have a guy that's going to go like this or a guy over like this and like that. With this is like a Patriots offensive formation, and he jumps into a run. So right here, I'm able to go ahead and get a block shed to get him into a 3rd and 5 situation. He no huddles. And now I'm anticipating a passing situation because it's 3rd and 5. So I think what I did is I put my guys into basically hook zones. I've got hard flats out here. And I've got some hook zones over here. And I've got these guys all going. I've got deep quarters going. And I even put myself into a deep zone. So I've got quarters with basically 8 zones underneath. And based on this guy's ability to read defenses post-snap was really bad. And sure enough, he takes a shot up top. I get a deflection right there because he doesn't know where to go with the ball. After that, he's just lobbing it up because he really doesn't have much of an offensive scheme. So back at it again. I'm going to show him the same exact defense. It seems like he's struggling with it. One of the things I was doing too is I'm putting these guys into deep thirds, and the reason I do these deep thirds is that they fall back into coverage right away, where sometimes quarter flats will come down and play deep. So you should see these guys turn around immediately after the snap of the ball. See how these guys are dropping up and they're well ahead of the wide receiver. So I want to go ahead and take away those lob streaks from the outside receivers. He goes ahead and challenges Ramsey on the outside and loses big time. So Ramsey goes ahead and makes a play. Ramsey's a really great defensive back, and that's just one of the luxuries you get when you play with the Dolphins and you have Ramsey in your backfield. So right there, good situation. 2nd and 3 situation, another series where he needs to go ahead and get some plays right here. I switched things up a little bit against him. I had myself man aligned because I think I went with the nickel defense previously, but once again I'm going to show him the same defense again where I'm dropping guys back, throws into coverage, Holland picks it off, takes it house. This guy had no reads, just no ability to his whole offense was running, and if he couldn't run the ball, that was pretty much it. And I put him in a situation where even when I was in a very run light defense, I was still able to go ahead and cause some problems with them. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. If you do like these type of videos, let me know. But another rage quit, and I do post a lot of my schemes and my strategies on my Patreon. So if you guys want more information about how I run my offenses and my defenses, full ebook breakdowns, take a look at it. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.